Hi, my name is Patrick Spinner, and I'm a delivery consultant for the patient accounting team at Cerner Corporation. Today I'm going to be presenting on Revenue Cycle Essentials. Revenue Cycle is our application that we use to track patient billing here at Cerner. Our agenda today is going to cover navigation of Revenue Cycle, working through work queues, also what are work queues, and navigating through a patient account. If we take a look at my screen now, we'll see here we are on the My Workflow section of Revenue Cycle. If we see up in our top left corner, we have our Personnel tab. Here's where we can take a look at everybody in the system who has work queues assigned to them. Right here we have a Reports tab where we can personally customize which reports will pull into that tab if there's specific requirements that a certain biller needs to see every single day. If we look on the right side of our page, we'll see the Workflow tab. Under the Workflow tabs where you're going to find all of your work queues. So, starting to explain a few of what the work queues actually mean. A pending edit claim is where a claim has been sent to our scrubber, but it maybe needs some editing to take a look at. So you can jump into our scrubber called Revenue Manager, and you can make your personal edits to those claims so they can send back for max reimbursement from the payer. A pending reimbursement claim means that a claim has been sent through the scrubber has then sent it on to the payer, and we are now waiting for reimbursement from the payer. Our pre-registration work queue is a work queue where a patient who are still in a pre-registered state, so they haven't showed up for their appointment yet, has charges dropped on the encounter. That work queue is more of a catch for specific encounters because you don't necessarily want charges being dropped before a patient even arrives. So that usually catches a lot of instances where a charge has been dropped on the wrong encounter for a specific patient. A ready to bill work queue means that the patient has been discharged, their waiting for coding hold is dropped off, and their standard delay hold is all dropped off. But essentially right now, if the ops job was to run overnight, those encounters in a ready to bill state will have a claim sent into the scrubber. A demographics modifications work queue means that there has been a change in the demographic modifications, someone's address, there was a guarantor change. Something has changed since that claim was sent out, so that claim would need to be canceled and regenerated to send to the right, correct information. An encounter combine is a work queue where Medicare has certain rules for 72-hour rule where if there's 2 encounters within 72 hours, those encounters are automatically combined onto one claim. So this work queue is more or less just a catch telling you, okay, these 2 encounters were combined. So if you've been able to tell, work queues there's 2 purposes for a work queue. One is to have items that need to be worked, and the other is for items that need to be monitored. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and jump into a patient account. In order to jump into a patient account, all I did was simply double-click on one of the work queues, and then all of the patients who are listed underneath that work queue display right now on my screen. If you can see up here on our filters box, you can see that there's many different ways that you can filter down to specific patients. So for example, if you wanted to see a certain health plan or a certain encounter for certain health plans that are in a ready to bill state, you can go to our health plan option, click, and you can select which one you want. So say we want to see Cigna, we click that, hit apply, and only the Cigna encounter would then display. So now in order to jump into a patient account, all we need to do is simply double-click on one of the patient encounters. So just so you guys know, this is all information from a cert domain, so all the patient's information is scrambled up. You won't be able to tell who the patient is or anything like that. But if we can see here, this is kind of your home base for revenue cycle. Right now you'll see you're in your encounter perspective. If you take a look at this cookie trail right here, you'll see encounter is the newest link on that cookie trail, so you'll be able to tell which perspective you're in. Within this perspective, you can see your top blue banner has all of your demographic information about the patient. Our patient account tab is just a little bit more information about which facility this took place at and your account number and your balance in the specific encounter. Our encounters tab is going to supply much more detailed information. So if we scroll down, we can see the begin date and the end date of the encounter, the financial class they belong to, what type of encounter it was, where the patient location was once again, and where their discharge location was, as well as physicians who are responsible for these encounters. If we go to our bottom half of the screen, we'll see we have multiple tabs here. First of all, probably the most basic summary tab that we have is our balances tab. So you'll see that we have a self-pay and 2 primaries. The reason that works is because there's 2 different types of charge groupings on this encounter. So since there are 2 different types of charge grouping, there's going to be a technical charges and a professional charges. A technical charge is going to run to a UB claim, and a professional charge is going to run to a 1500 claim. And you'll see here that you have your balances. And if you remember, we have a generated status for our claim. So if we go to our claims tab, we can see here that one of the claims has been submitted, one has been transmitted, and one has been canceled. One way to add multiple tabs to this, or add additional tabs I should say, is our Open View menu up top. If you click this little icon right here, you'll see all the possible tabs that we can add to Revenue Cycle.